Good morning, good morning. So I'm coming to you today with this week's edition, book excerpt from Unlock, Being Freed from Your Dysfunctional Prison. So today's excerpt is going to come from chapter 11. Chapter 11 is a trigger warning, just to let you know. I'm not going to go deep in it, but chapter 11, if you have read the book, if you haven't, chapter 11 is called Lockdown. Again, it is a trigger warning. I'm not going to be reading the entire book or the entire chapter. I'm only going to read a part of it, talk about it a little bit, and then give you the information for this month's author's Q&A for July 26th. So I'm going to start with I'm going to start here on chapter 11. Again, as a warning, this is a trigger warning. I'm not going to go into the other parts of it. I'm just going to kind of start here and go through and read several of the chapters. And then, like I said, want more dialogue, come to the author's Q&A. I was petrified. I wanted out of the relationship hell I was in. But how? Saying I was abused is an understatement. I was abused, tortured, tormented, threatened, ridiculed, shamed, and broken. Every part of me went through trauma. My physical, emotional, spiritual, sexual, and mental capacities were mangled, depleted, and drained. I felt like a worthless rag doll being tossed around, banged into things, dragged through the mud, and run over by a Mack truck. I was trapped. I felt as though I was in prison with no way of escape. Several times I tried to leave, but the pull that he had on me was so strong. He controlled my every move. He was the warden. I was the prisoner. With all that I had gone through, I began to change. I'm outside, so the outside is outsiding. With all the things I had gone through, I had began to change. The friendly people person I once was had checked out. I had become withdrawn. The girl, once a social butterfly, began isolating herself from social events. Why get close to anyone when he would make me stop talking to them? I didn't trust people. I had severe anxiety issues. At times, I would leave a full cart of groceries in the middle of the aisle because I would suddenly become fearful about what was going to happen next. I had nervous breakdowns, meltdowns, suicide attempts, extreme depression, manic and bipolar, and slight schizophrenia. Well, that's what the doctors diagnosed me with. After years of hearing an array of psychological terms, I ended up being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Working, trying to raise my 5 children, 3 of which were his, and pretending as if everything were okay, all was so draining. But I had to keep up the pretense for his image and to hide my shame. I could not let others know what he was doing to me behind closed doors. He had an image to uphold. I wore many masks during that time, and I didn't know who I was anymore. I had become lost, devoured by the once pretty web that spun lies, deceit, broken promises, and pain. And I'm just going to stop right there. Like I said, this is the excerpt from Unlocked, Being Free from Your Dysfunctional Prison. We'll go more into this and, of course, some of the other chapters when we meet up for the author's Q&A. That'll be July 26th at 1 p.m. And it's going to be at the Seminole Heights Branch Library off of Central Avenue. I'll leave the photo with all the information in it. This will be a time of just reflection, questions and answers, me getting your feedback on what you thought about the book. How did you feel about it going into this? This is part of the chapter I was sharing when I was in this traumatic relationship. I was in an abusive relationship for 15 years. Thank God I got out of it. I had to go through a lot of things, but this was just part of what it was that I dealt with. Basically dealing with someone who had NPD. And for people that don't know what NPD is, that's narcissistic personality disorder. And if you don't know the signs, if you don't know what it is, you can easily get trapped up by that person. And once you're in it, it's hard to get out. It's not impossible, but it can be hard to get out because they wrap you up. Like I said, it's like a web. When you see a spider's web, it's intricate, it's detailed, it's pretty. You know, you don't see the and everything initially. You see the prettiness, you see the subtlety, you see, oh, they're trying to help, they want to do this, they want to do that. And what they do is, just like a spider with their prey, they spin the web subtly until you get drawn closer and closer to the middle part of the web, which is the stickiest part of the web, and it's harder to get out. Plus, by that time, basically you've gotten the web spun around you and you can't get free. It's hard to get free without help and without choosing to, but you can get free and be free from a person that deals with that, or has an abusive nature. And you can heal from that and actually have a better quality of life. And we talk about it in the book, Unlocked. But like I said, I would love to hear from you, your thoughts on this chapter or any of the other chapters. Again, join me July 26th at 1 p.m. Seminole Heights Branch Library. And we're going to dive into this chapter and some of the other different chapter discussions. If you did make it to the book signing and you do have your book and you want me to sign it and get your author gift, which is the Unlocked bookmarker, please bring it and I'll make sure that I get those signed for you and you get your bookmarker. We will have some additional books for sale. Again, I can't sell them in the library meeting room because that's their policy, but I will have some books for sale. We have to do the transaction outside, but even if you haven't read all of the book, please come to the Q&A. I would like to hear your thoughts on what you read so far. Why has it taken you so long? I've gotten different feedback from different ones on why, it's taking them a little bit longer because of the information, the details, it's sparking up some things. They're having to process different things, but I would love to just get your feedback, answer any questions, and just spend this time just digging a little bit deeper and helping you to become unlocked. So remember, my motto is, don't allow the traumas of your past to imprison your future. It's time to get unlocked. Welcome to your journey. Have a fantastic day, and I'll be on again next week to give you another chapter excerpt from the book Unlocked, Until we meet on July 26th. Have a great day.